Natalie from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, October 16th. So the moon is going to be in Pisces all day. And as we've been learning, when the moon is in Pisces, we're overly sensitive, overly emotional. We are strong in our intuition, but we are also overwhelmed with it all and tend to want to escape into la la land. We don't want to deal with reality. Reality is too much. We're bringing in information from other realms that we can't make sense in this realm just yet. And therefore, all the exterior stimulus in our physical 3D realms is just not what we want to be dealing with. We have a lot more going on in our inner realms than we actually have going on in our outer realms. And the stuff that's going on in the inner realm is a lot more enjoyable, basically, than what's going on outside of us. So today is actually a very busy day in the cosmos. There are 15 different aspects taking place today, and 11 of them involve the moon. So I am going to be breaking this up so that we can focus on the major shifts, the major energies. What I will say to you again is that when the moon is in Pisces, we want to pay attention to our dreams. There are some profound dreams coming through to us right now from the higher realms. We are working out a lot of the bugs, a lot of the kinks in the astral realm while we are asleep. We are processing a lot of the subconscious repressed emotions and thoughts and memories from this lifetime and previous lifetimes while we sleep. And so it is very important to take note of what is going on in our dream state. The moon is going to be making an aspect with Uranus, and this is going to be a positive aspect for us to actually have a new vision, a new strike of brilliance, a new moment of genius, a new aha moment that is really going to inspire us to shift our focus and really hone in on the details of the new vision, the new dream that is emerging for us. And it might feel a little bit conflicting because the moon goes ahead and squares the true node. And of course, the true node is trying to get this vision, get this dream, get this goal into our alignment so that we can start manifesting it. But of course, the moon in Pisces just illuminated to this new element, this new idea, this new inspiration. Now there's a conflict between the path that we thought we were walking and the path that we think we should walk now. There's a little bit of an overlap. There's a little bit of a tweaking that needs to go on. We're still in retrograde for another couple of days. So again, we are re-editing, revising our plans, re-strategizing, recalculating how it is that we're actually going to make this happen. The moon is making a very harmonious aspect with Mercury, who is in retrograde, helping us to sort through the details, helping us to weigh the pros and cons, helping us to incorporate enough of our intuition, our imagination, with the logical, practical mindset of our ego. Our ego is not a bad thing. We just have to keep them in check with our spirit and our soul. We need to be balanced. And of course, that's what this Libran energy is trying to teach us. The moon goes ahead and makes a little bit of a tension point with Mars, though, who is in Libra as well. And Mars is just pulling away from the sun, from Mercury, which means that Mars can actually stand in his own vibration without being encouraged or blurred or overwhelmed at all by the other planetary action. And the moon, of course, bumping into Mars in this way, Mars wants to make a move. He wants to initiate a different step in the new path in which is currently emerging. He is also wanting to take an action to even out previous actions that took us a little bit in extreme. And we're going to get a huge check from reality here because the moon is going to go ahead and bump into Saturn. And this is likely going to create an outside trigger, an outside element. Maybe it's from a person, maybe it's from our plans, maybe it's just the irritation of the day. Again, the moon in Pisces does not want to deal with reality, wants to move inward and live in la la land. But the moon bumping into Saturn this way, Saturn is fresh and direct. He's still waking up. He's still not moving forward, but his eyes are open. He's looking forward. He's looking to visualize. He's looking to put a plan together that is going to show our growth, that is going to show where it is we need to boss up, where it is that we need to actually put forth the wisdom that we should have learned while reviewing past life lessons, while Saturn was retrograde. Now we get an opportunity to actually put it into practice. And there's no better practice than being triggered from our outside realm. And that's when we act as the observer in our inner realm. And instead of reacting out of ego, we can see the bigger plan here. And the plan is to test us, to see whether or not we can handle situations differently, and whether or not that we can push ourselves outside of past patterns and behaviors and actually create a different scenario. Now, we are going to struggle with this a little bit because the moon is going to go ahead and bump into the sun. Anytime that the moon and the sun come together in a positive or in a negative aspect, this is elements of the old, elements of the new, elements of our emotions and intuition and soul and spirit, and elements of our physical force, our aggression, our assertion. It is an overlap, understanding where it is we need to detach from the old, where it is we have to step into the new. And we might not be very firm in our foundations, our stepping stones as of right yet. Again, the sun being in Libra wants us to be balanced in those actions, in those realizations, in those aha moments. And we're going to have a perfect opportunity, especially riding off of the situation that Saturn just created for us, whether or not we are going to fall victim to the old attachments, the old behaviors, or whether or not we're going to see the light from the sun, see where we need to take action, see where we need to fight for ourselves, and see where we can actually make a move that is going to help balance things out. So Venus goes ahead and trines Chiron, and let me tell you, this is going to be great because this is really pushing us to want to heal, especially our relationships. And we want to heal through love. Yes, we want to heal through love, like for ourselves, but we have to kind of heal ourselves through loving other people, especially the difficult people. And if the earlier situation actually suggests what I think it's suggesting, we're going to have an opportunity to really see opposition, duality, division outside of ourselves, and really put us in a situation where we can see the bigger, grander picture and lesson at play, where we can boss up, where we can, kind of minimize the gap of the division, and where we can make an effort to actually heal the division, the duality, the polarity, the extremes in what's going on in our lives. The moon comes back into play, bumps into Pluto, and bumps into Chiron. Let me tell you, we're still kind of feeding off of the earlier situation that Saturn kind of created for us by an outside stimulus. Because Pluto's at play, he is the god of the underworld. He is highlighting fears and insecurities and power struggles and where it is that we need to take our power back. And of course, Chiron is the wounded healer. He's highlighting for us all of our fears, all of our insecurities, where we've given our power away, where we need to muster up the courage in this moment to be different, and where it is that we need to stand in our power, recognizing that the negative energy of past trauma, past pain, past experiences has been created for us to act as the catalyst to actually make a move to go ahead and bust free from the old holding patterns that our ego identity is very much involved with. This is, again, another learning opportunity for us to put into practice what our higher self knows to be true, and really put our egos on the bench, if you will, to sit this one out. The moon is going to go ahead early evening, square Venus, bump into Mercury, who is retrograde, and then Mars is going to bump into Neptune. So what this is kind of continuing to tell us is that we come to a crossroads with the odds that we're at. We have this opportunity to grow. We have this opportunity triggering us outside of ourselves for us to feel low, for us to feel fear, anger, all of these negative emotions. And of course, that earlier aspect with Pluto and Chiron is really highlighting all of the negative so that we can use that as a catalyst to grow. Now we come into a square with Venus, and this is really putting a damper on our faith, on our optimism. We are kind of setting into the negative narrative, especially where our relationships are concerned. Again, when Venus bumped into Chiron, really making an effort to want to heal through love of oneself and heal through the love of having a relationship dynamic. This is putting us at odds because we can't make sense of it as of right now. The moon bumping into Mercury, who is retrograde in Libra, is hashing up all these past situations, these past memories, these past negative situations and emotions where we didn't feel like we were in power, where we did feel uncertain about what it is that we wanted, needed, and desired, especially in a relationship. And now we're just kind of sitting in all of this not so nice feeling, not so nice energy. By the time Mars goes ahead and bumps into Neptune, we could be in a situation where we are acting aggressively, acting as if we are trying to kind of exert ourselves in all the wrong ways. Of course, we've been triggered. Now we're sitting in the negative emotions. Mars bumping into Neptune, of course, just wants to escape the whole thing because it's so overwhelming. We could get an intense urge to just want to numb, which of course is not a good state to be in when we're feeling overwhelmed with emotion and with thoughts. And this particular aspect is really going to set us up for either us picking ourselves up out of the dust or us giving ourselves permission to go further into the victim mentality. Now, we do get a little bit of help because Venus is going to bump into Jupiter. Venus, who is in Sag, is optimistic, is positive, is on the quest for truth, wants to renew oneself, wants to think bigger picture, wants to look for the silver linings, especially where relationships and values are concerned. Jupiter, who rules over Sagittarian energy, and of course the magnifier, the great expander of the zodiac, he's preparing to go direct on Monday. So he only has a couple of these interactions left while retrograde for us to really think about the inner healing that we're doing, where it is that we've grown, where it is we need to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, where it is that we have to step outside of our boundaries in order to actually see a bigger, brighter future take hold. And Venus, of course, being very focused on love and money and worth and future planning. And Jupiter, of course, very focused on when he goes direct, all the actions that he's going to take in order to expand the horizon of the possibilities that are going to be taking place, especially where relationships and money are concerned. This is going to set us up for a little bit of hope. So Mercury, who is retrograde in Libra, who is also preparing to go direct on Monday, is going to be bumping into Venus in this beautiful moment where she finally shifts out of the negative narrative and she shifts into the positive narrative. This is going to help us, A, have a better narrative going on inside our head. B, have a little bit of clarity on what it is we actually want, need, and desire from the people that we're sharing our lives with. And C, put us in a position to actually use our throat chakras by speaking our truth, speaking our emotions, telling people how we feel from our heart chakra, which of course Venus rules over. And we're going to cap the night off with the moon making a beautiful aspect with Uranus. Uranus, of course, is the great awakener. He shakes us up. He wakes us up to a new idea, to a new epiphany, to a new way of doing things. And of course, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, which is really, really intensifying and shaking up our relationships. Our money matters, our resources, our stability, our future plans. But the moon in Pisces right now is aligned. We are coming into our power. We are quieting the mind. We are moving within oneself. We are listening to our intuition. We have kind of grasped a dream and a vision through the earlier tensions and struggles of the day of what it is that we don't want to deal with and what it is that we would prefer to deal with. And now with this Uranian energy kind of zapping us in our crown, in our mental plane with a new idea, a new perspective shift. Now, emotionally, we're kind of opening our eyes to what is possible, but we have to keep in the most positive mindset, positive mind frame, especially as we build towards Jupiter and Mercury, both going direct, and then the full moon in Aries.